It's been 8 years since we got this last Star Trek film. We haven't received any more after this. Considering this one was pretty cool and what have you. So strap yourselves in as I review Star Trek Beyond. This is Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So, greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name is Noel, better known to you as the Big D, and this time around I bring to you a review of the 2016 sci fi action flick Star Trek Beyond, released by Paramount, produced along with Skydance, Bad Robot, and others, directed by Justin Lin, written by Simon Pegg, who returns in the cast, and Doug Jung, based on the Star Trek series created by the late great Gene Roddenberry. It's the third installment of the reboot series and 13th overall. Chris Pine and Zachary Quinto return as James T. Kirk and Spock, along with Pegg, Karl Urban, Zoe Saldana, John Cho, and Anton Yelchin in what unfortunately would be his final role, reprising their roles from the previous films, which I'll explain later. This also has Idris Elba, Sofia, Boutella, Joe Taslim, and Lydia Wilson. The film was released on July 22nd, 2016, just a couple weeks after it made almost a couple weeks after it premiered in Sydney. Still, the film did pretty well and what have you. But first, if you haven't seen my reviews for the other films, you can check them out on the Star Trek playlist, as I'm going to give you the playlist, so you can catch my reviews of the first Star Trek reboot film and its sequel, Into Darkness, in case you might have missed them, or if you would like to see them again, if you'd like. Okay. Now then, let's get into the story. The Federation starship USS Enterprise arrives at Starbase Yorktown for a resupply and shore leave for its crew. Struggling to find meaning in the middle of their 5 year exploration, Captain James T. Kirk has applied for a promotion to Vice Admiral. He recommends Spock as his replacement. Meanwhile, Sulu reunites with his family, and Scotty works to keep the ship operational, and Spock and Uhura have ended their relationship. Spock also receives word from New Vulcan that Ambassador Spock's alternate universe counterpart, has died. Enterprise is dispatched on a rescue mission after an escape pod drifts out of a nearby uncharted nebula. Its occupant, Kalara, claims her ship is stranded on Altamid, a planet in the nebula. Upon arrival, a massive swarm of small ships ambushes the Enterprise and quickly begins to tear it apart. The swarm's leader, Krall, and his crew board the crippled Enterprise, capture and kill many crew members, and attempt to capture the Abernath, a relic recovered during a recent mission. Kirk orders the crew to abandon ship, leaving the disintegrating Enterprise saucer section to crash on Altamid. On the planet, Krall captures Sulu, Uhura, and other survivors. Kirk and Chekhov, accompanied by Kalara, locate the Enterprise's saucer section. Knowing that Kalara knew they would be attacked, Kirk tricks her into revealing herself as Krall's spy. She is killed when Kirk and Chekhov escape Krall's soldiers and flip the Enterprise saucer, crushing her. Elsewhere on the planet, Dr. McCoy and a wounded Spock search for other survivors. Spock tells McCoy that he ended his relationship with Uhura and is leaving Starfleet to help the Vulcan survivors and continue the late Ambassador Spock's work. Jayla, a scavenger who previously escaped Krall's encampment where her father was killed, rescues Scott and takes him to her makeshift home, the grounded USS Franklin, an early Starfleet vessel reported missing over a century earlier. Scott is reunited with Kirk, Chekhov, McCoy, and Spock. Krall courses the captive Enterprise's crew to hand over the Abernath, then uses it to complete an ancient blow weapon. Well, not blow, misread. Bioweapon. Oops, my mistake. With the device complete, Krall intends to kill Yorkton's inhabitants, then use the base to attack the United Federation of Planets. Kirk and the others free the crew as Krall launches into space with the bioweapon, leading his drones to Yorktown. Okay, now I'm going to go for the big final act and its ending. So, as always, you have 5 seconds to stop this video. Please go to the description box below and fast forward to the time below to avoid ending spoilers. If you've seen this movie already, please continue. Okay, you've been warned. The Enterprise survivors power up the Franklin and launch her in pursuit of Krall. Theorizing the swarm system may be vulnerable to high frequencies such as VHF or radio, they jam and destroy the swarm by broadcasting the song Sabotage by the Beastie Boys. Krall is chased by the Franklin through Yorktown. Uhura, Kirk, and Scotty discover from the Franklin's logs that Krall is actually Baltazar Edison, Franklin's former captain. A pre-Federation human soldier, Edison rejected the Federation's principles of unity and cooperation with former enemies like the Xindi and the Romulans. When he and his crew were stranded on Altamid by a wormhole, the survivors used the extinct natives' technology to prolong their lives at the cost of the others and repurpose the ancient race's dormant mining drone workers into the swarm. Thinking that the Federation had abandoned them, Edison planned to destroy the Federation and resume galactic conflict. Kirk pursues Edison into Yorktown's ventilation system, where Edison activates the bioweapon. Before it can spread, Kirk ejects it and Edison into space, where the weapon disintegrates Edison. Using a commandeered alien ship, Spock and McCoy save Kirk moments before he is also blown into space. In the aftermath, Commodore Paris closes the files of Captain Edison and the USS Franklin crew. Though offered the promotion to Vice Admiral, Kirk decides to remain as captain. Spock, after finding a photograph of Ambassador Spock's Enterprise crew, chooses to remain in Starfleet and renews his relationship with Uhura. On Kirk's recommendation, Jayla is accepted into Starfleet Academy. As the crew celebrates Kirk's birthday, they watch the construction of their new ship, USS Enterprise A, and resume their mission. End of story. So, what did I think of Star Trek Beyond? Well, I'm going to say it's a good film. And what have you? I enjoyed it. And I did go see it just like the other two. Well, just like the last film, I didn't see as much as the first one. But I still had some respect for the film, though. I really do like it for what it had to offer. It had just as much stuff as we got with the others. But unfortunately, the film kind of actually underperformed financially, as it was released during a crowded summer with other films like the Ghostbusters reboot, which I know a lot of people don't like, Jason Bourne, and Suicide Squad. He also noted that had Paramount released a film for Star Trek's 50th anniversary on September 8th, the film could have benefited from that occasion, as demonstrated in October of 2012 when MGM released Skyfall for James Bond's 50th anniversary. Yes, it actually did. It actually did underperform in a way, but nevertheless, it went on to make 343 million worldwide against its 185 million dollar budget. Anyway, the film did get good reviews, however, with a good 86% on Rotten Tomatoes, saying the film continues the franchise's post-reboot hot streak with an epic sci-fi adventure that honors the series' sci-fi roots without skimping on the blockbuster action. Metacritic has a score of 68, while Cinema Score gave this a grade of an A minus. Richard Roper said even with its big screen pyrotechnics and its feature length running time, Star Trek Beyond plays like an extended version of one of the better episodes from the original series. And I mean that in the best way, well, possible way. IGN gave it a good review, saying it was terrific, a fun and exciting entry in the series that balances subtle fan service while also feeling fresh and modern. The film is the perfect way to celebrate the series' 50th anniversary. The Hollywood Reporter said the screenplay by Simon Pegg and Doug Jung injects a welcome strain of humor that's true to the original Gene Roddenberry creation, delivering nostalgia without stiff veneration. It said, while Beyond won't unseat 1982's thrilling Wrath of Khan as the gold standard for Star Trek movies, it's a highly entertaining entry guaranteed to give the franchise continuing life. But anyway, but there's lots of others. Some were not too impressed and what have you. Actually, especially George Takei, the original Sulu from the original series. He criticized the decision by the writers to make Sulu's character gay and said, I'm delighted that there's a gay character. Unfortunately, it's a twisting of Star Trek creator Gene Roddenberry's creation into which he put so much thought. I think it's really unfortunate. However, he claimed that this would make Sulu appear to have been closeted, and he requested instead for a new character to be introduced. Simon Pegg responded by saying the move was intended as a tribute to Takei's status as an LGBT activist. Anyway, that's about it. But after it's been 8 years since we got this film, we still have yet to even get this and what have you. Uh, but, however, in earlier this year, Paramount revealed to be expanding its Star Trek film slate to have multiple films in development inspired by the success of the multiple Star Trek series on their Paramount Plus streaming service. And the in development Star Trek 4 was described as the final chapter in the main film series at that time. So we're going to hope for the best that they'll get this on track and hopefully we'll be back with these. Yes, and also in 2022, 2 years before, J.J. Abrams, who directed the previous two films, and CEO Brian Robbins at Paramount announced in February 2022 that the main cast from the previous films like Pine, Quinto, Pegg, Urban, Sandana, and Cho would return as their respective characters. So we'll hope for the best that they'll do as good as they did long ago. But anyway, now for our cast, we have Chris Pine once again reprising his role as James T. Kirk. He's still good like always. Same with Zachary Quinto as Spock, good. Karl Urban once again good as Dr. McCoy. Zoe Saldana still good as Uhura, and Simon Pegg as Scotty, and John Cho as Sulu. Anton Yelchin returns as Chekhov. Unfortunately, he died in a freak car accident, well, a car collision at his home a month before the film's release. As a matter of fact, and so he was only 27. So this was actually dedicated to not just Leonard Nimoy, but also to him. So anyway, yes, which of course Nimoy died a year before the film was released. Now we have As Kral Baltazar Asden, it's Idris Elba, who of course recently appeared in the Thor films, plus lots of other films. Sofia Boutella played Jayla. I'm going to say she was good. Now, the role was originally developed for Jennifer Lawrence and was named as a reference to her Jayla nickname. But despite Boutella's casting, the name was kept with the same pronunciation but a different spelling. And Lydia Wilson played Jessica Wolf, aka Kalara. Yes. Now, I did forget to mention one supporting character who actually appeared in this, well, appeared in all films, as Scotty's assistant of an alien. Its name was Keenser, and he was played by Deep Roy, who, of course, you might know him from The Never Ending Story, and as the guy who played all the Oompa Loompas in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. They had Michael Giacchino back on board to do the score, and it's still as good as always. Rihanna actually contributed a song called Sledgehammer on there. Of course, it's a different song, not to be confused with the Peter Gabriel song. Anyway, I'm going to say it was really cool. I absolutely liked how they used Sabotage by the Beastie Boys, which was actually used in the film's trailer as well as in a little bit of the first Star Trek reboot. And the final battle scene, which that was so epic and incredible. So overall, despite underperforming in a way, Star Trek Beyond could have done a little bit better. But hey, I I really liked this film for what it had to offer. I think the story was good. So was the casting characters. The score is incredible. Just about anything you could get from a Star Trek film, this is superb. So with everything said, would I recommend Star Trek Beyond? I'd say hell yeah, go for it. If you're also that goes if you are a hardcore Trekkie as well. So what did you think of Star Trek Beyond? Let me know in the comments section below. If you like this video, click the like button, subscribe, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Continue to help support my channel. Make it grow and make the views grow. And next time, I'll be bringing to you a review of Short Circuit, finally. Now, I know there's still two Star Trek films that remain unreviewed, which are the last two Next Generation films, Insurrection and Nemesis. I was intending to do those this month, but I had to postpone. But don't worry, you'll get them next year, okay? Maybe. Unless I decide to change my mind. So, anyway, if you like this, check out my reviews. If you didn't go to the playlist, I can leave a few of the Star Trek reviews that I've done on here just for you. In the upper left hand corner is my review of Wrath of Khan from 1982. The upper right hand corner is my review of the fourth original Star Trek film, which was The Voyage Home. And the bottom left hand corner is my review of the sixth film, The Undiscovered Country. And the bottom right hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.